Hi, Coach Topolsky, retired, and one of the first summers, I think, probably in 40 or so years, that I haven't been coaching in the summertime. I'm under restriction. I had triple bypass surgery, and for about two months, I'm not going to be back to semi-normal. So anyway, I want to talk to you about a couple things that I think are real important to make your season a lot more successful. Hope you can use some of these ideas. Um, keep the If you want to grow the program, try to attract kids before and after practice. Have some games, and I don't do it during practice, but I open my program up 15 to a half hour early so they can just come in and do what they want. And I have probably 20 kids on my age group, 11 and 12-year-old team and kids came. Probably half of them came just because they got to play before and after practice. I let them use the diving boards and just have fun after. So before and after practice was a way to bond. I used water polo once in a while. Actually, during the end of practice on a Friday, for the same reason, team bonding. Kids need to find friends. The more they can find, the bigger team you're going to have, and it'll attract and keep kids coming. You have to have goals. Practice goals are so important. I have every single day. I time them for certain goals. And I'm a sprint guy, so they do a lot of 25s. But if you're not, you can have such. You need practice goals. They need to be rewarded. They need to be aware of those. If you are creating goals and practice time goals, they're important. And you're going to do them over and over and over again. I do 25s all the time, every single day. Kicks, pulls, I do breakouts, 16.5-yard breakouts. And then they have short-term goals. What at the end of the season, what do you want to do? What's going to make you happy? Isn't that something that's the kids don't do? They don't give you, a reason to be happy. How many times do they touch with their best time and they go, celebrate? Long-term goals, do they want they want to become a national swimmer? If they want those type of goals, they have to have a plan and a strategy. You have to start talking about Olympics to the kids, because if you don't, who will? They don't drop from trees. They drop from a tree you create by talking about it. Use equipment that you use. God, how many people... I use, I'm the tech paddle guy, but I use them every single day. They don't get a choice, and a lot of the kids don't like them. But I know that when you get 100% improvement from your best and worst swimmers, they're worth keeping around. So find equipment that works and stick with it. Don't, a drill is a drill is a drill. If you're doing drills, do they accomplish what you want them to do? How many times do we give kids drills and they do them and we don't watch them and correct them? I spend a half to 3/4 of my practice refining stroke flaws. That's the hardest thing we do. Getting them to go fast means they have to have great strokes. And if they're not dropping times, they don't have great strokes. And if they're already one of those super talented kids, they still have to get better. So correcting stroke flaws is the hardest thing you have to do as a coach. And it only is hard if you actually work at it and see improvements. And when times drop in practice, you're doing a better job. US RPT, or ultra short race pace training, it's not new. It was there before Mark Spitz, but we as coaches didn't use it. We added it when Mark Spitz and his colleagues add X amount of yards, 12,000 yards, and they were talented enough. They add more and they dropped more. And when you have world-class swimmers that do certain things, everybody follows them. Well, we're finding out that training and adapting to stress and progressive exercise protocol has not been followed by swimming coaches. I mean, they start out with high yardage, and high yardage only does a couple things: makes them tired, and it probably promotes bad stroke mechanics. If they can get fast at the beginning of the season, the times should go this way. They shouldn't go up and down all the time. That's what I have a problem with taper. Your whole season should be a taper. You add stress when they're hitting plateaus, or you have to improve their stroke mechanics. You're trying to get a girl swimmer to go under 6 minutes, and or a guy that wants to go under 5 minutes and can't push off and go 15 seconds for the first 25. He is never going to break 5 minutes. That's insane. Maybe he could do 15 500s and hold 5 15s, but he's never going to break 5 minutes if he can't push off and swim a 25 from a push off in 15 seconds. So speed is elusive, not endurance. There's a lot of things you can do. Baseline training, get the kids stronger. It's very important. If you're going to add time to your practices, get them in the weight room. Make them better athletes. You know, they should have goals to become better athletes, improving their 25 times, knowing their practice times and practice goals for the day. What is their goal? Is to get tired and feel like they're going to puke? That's not a very objective way to measure your success as a practice. But how many times have we heard kids, I had the best practice of my life because I almost puked. Well, I puked and it was a terrible practice. I never had any of my goal times. So anyway, good luck to you. And this is Coach Topolsky over and out for Tech Paddle, and one of the great training aids that I use. But like I said, find your own. If you need any questions answered, give me a email at thomas.topolsky, Topolski, @gmail.com, and I'll get right back to you. Thank you. Over and out.